Hey, it's Mikey. I know I haven't been doing videos in quite some time, but here I am. So today I want to share with you what to do when you're feeling shitty, feeling bad, feeling negative. What's the best thing to do? How to accept these feelings, or maybe there's sensations, pain, stomach feels weird, whatever it is. How to accept it. How to surrender and allow that to be and dissolve. So what I have been experiencing in the last few days is haven't felt that well, you know. Yesterday woke up just physically felt like ill, you know. Didn't feel good at all. So there was a headache. My stomach felt very bad. At times I felt like I'm gonna throw up. I felt like, man, am I gonna throw up? Am I not gonna throw up? The mind started doubting and projecting. And mine had resistance. Okay? Of course. One thing you have to understand about accepting or letting go is that you can't do it. It's impossible to do it on a mental level. If you think accepting something is feeling good about it, right? Then it's you have a preference about something, right? Let's say you prefer that your mornings are peaceful and nobody disturbs you and everything. And if that happens, then you say, I accept that. I'm in acceptance of this. I feel good about this. That's why I say I'm accepting this. But it's just a preference that you have that is met by your circumstances. Or a preference that you have how you should feel. Right? Let's say you wake up in the morning, you feel fresh and energetic. And you accept that. You're okay with that. Okay? There's no resistance. So then you say, I'm accepting. But there's the mistake. If there's resistance, there still can be acceptance. So that's the real acceptance that I'm talking about. That's the deeper level. That's what will free you up from suffering your experience, from suffering your life situation. So I didn't feel good. Let's go back to the morning. The morning I woke up and I didn't feel good. Headache, stomach feeling weird, bad. And I did a simple thing. It's a practice that is simple, but it can move some mountains, boy. Such a simple practice. But it will change everything. It will change everything. So what did I do? I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna sit down 30 minutes. I'm just gonna be with this discomfort. I'm just gonna be here, sit here and be with it. I was willing this time. Before, month back, I wasn't willing to sit with discomfort. I was escaping. I was going with the mind. The mind distracted me with food, entertainment, activities to run away from uncomfortable feelings. So these feelings just kept arising. kept feeling mid-level, low vibes, sometimes good. But I decided, hey, let me just be with this. And I just turned my attention. I just play with it. Sometimes I put it on the headache, focus on that. Thoughts were constantly arising about the pain, why the pain is here, okay, why it's here. I was started getting worried. Is it really serious? Maybe I'm sick. Okay. So I think about how I had this kind of pain in the past. So I think about, what did I eat last night? What caused this pain? The mind started thinking about all these things. But you see, if you focus on this story, if you focus on what the mind is coming up with, focusing on the thoughts, then you're not actually living with what is. You're not facing life. You're not living life. You're thinking about life. Thinking about life is not living life. You see, if you're facing life, if you're living life, if you're with life, directly facing life, then when the meaning of the pain or whatever you're feeling needs to arise, what's the meaning of this, right? What's the meaning of the pain? Why is it here? It will arise. It will arise spontaneously, just like any thought arises spontaneously. Just it arises. Boom. Oh, okay. Maybe a thought arises. Oh, I should go to the internet, check out what is it about. Okay. But you gotta see if it's simply like out of fear. Oh man, I don't know what's gonna happen. I gotta check, I gotta read, I gotta do. If it's out of fear, anxiety, then it's the psychological mind, then it's the ego. Then you gotta build the discernment. This discernment, okay? When to follow thoughts, when to just disregard and do your thing. Okay, so car is coming, someone close the door. So basically, I just focused on the feeling or the sensation, and it persisted for quite some time, but over time it started dissolving. And what I noticed is that, and this is the key here to accepting anything, a circumstance, how you're feeling, whatever, how someone is acting with you, maybe you're attached to something. It's all about observing the resistance. Okay, maybe before you thought that, okay, acceptance is when I feel good about this, right? Acceptance is when resistance doesn't come up. Okay, acceptance is when I like something. No, you don't have to like the feeling, you don't have to love the feeling. And acceptance doesn't mean that you don't do anything about the pain, right? But I'm not also saying that, you should, right away take painkillers. No, I advise you, before you do anything, take at least 15 minutes. I actually advise take 30 minutes if you're willing, but 15 minutes, just be with it, and then take the action that you want to take. Okay? That's my advice. You don't need to sit for hours. If you wish to, you can. That's the beautiful part. You don't have to. You're not bound to do anything. But I only one thing: before you take any action, 15 minutes, be with the emotion, no matter how uncomfortable, and then do what you want to do. And during the day, also practice the same thing, bringing the attention to that emotion, sensation. When thoughts arise, acknowledge, observe, attention back to life, as life is in this moment. A resistance arises. Resistance is simply a thought and a feeling. Okay, a thought, I don't want to feel this way. I hate this. And then irritation arises, right? I like with myself, I see irritation is like, oh man, that guy is like, whew. Sometimes it's like, man, the irritation just like my legs like shake a little bit, and I'm like, oh god damn, like the irritation is like, whew. So just gotta observe, and that's what I've been doing. I just observe the irritation, right? So before I was focusing on the pain in the body, the uncomfortable sensation, but when the resistance comes up, feel free to totally observe there's a resistance. Don't even think about the pain or whatever. Just focus on the resistance. Give your full attention to it. Maybe before you were able to observe a thought that was like, that said, I think I should eat some ice cream later, right? So the thought arises, says, I should eat some ice cream later. I deserve it. Okay, so the thought arises, but this time, because you have been practicing, doing some meditation, you became aware of the thought, okay? And you were able to let it go by simply observing and taking the attention away. So this thought, gone, okay? So you didn't believe in this thought. But when a resistance arises, and the thought arises, why me? Why is this happening to me? Okay? Why is this happening to me? And then, and a negative emotion comes with it, and for some reason, you believe in this thought, and you become this thought. You take shape as this thought. And then you basically suffer. You take shape as this thought, then you start thinking more thoughts like, why is this happening to me? I don't want to feel this. This sucks. Life sucks. Everything sucks. Start going on this downward spiral, victim mentality, and this goes, and then you feel even worse. And probably there's gonna be a moment when you wake up like, oh. And then again, there's a spaciousness that comes in, the presence of awareness checks in, hey buddy, what's going on? And then you remember again. And if you remember, even if you were like thinking for 15-20 minutes, if you catch yourself thinking, taking shape as thoughts, just come back and come back to the practice. If there's resistance, right? The resistance is like, man, I can't practice. Like, this sucks, this doesn't work. These are just new thoughts that are arising that you are buying into. But you simply do your best to observe. Doing your best is the only thing you can do. So do your best, and you will see the fruits of this practice.